Interesting times we live in, aren't they? I mean, this morning I hear on the news of a kid in Palestine that was on his way home from school with his little brother and got chased by the cops, by the Israeli army or police or something, and ran into his house, and the cops chased him, were banging on the door or something. And this kid apparently ran out the back or something, and the cops ambushed him. And this child got such a fright that he died. He was scared to death, literally. What kind of a world are we living in? And it's not even in the news, it's not a big deal. I mean, it made the news where I saw it, but a small little bottom level article. And what kind of world are we living in? I mean, how do we allow? I'm tired of this nonsense. Aren't you tired of it? That the duplicity, the hypocrisy, the double standards, the lies, the bullshit, being spoken nonsense to. I mean, what happened? This whole thing about let's go, let's go. I mean, if we know we're going to come back to this Ukraine war, well, let's start the Ukraine war. I mean, isn't this war? Adolf Zelensky. He's going to go down in history as a Churchill, Eisenhower. No, he's not. He's going to go down as Adolf Hitler. I reckon Putin's going to come out of this thing better than him. Let's look at it. Okay, he goes to war. Putin turns around and says, don't bring NATO into my back garden. Don't bring to Ukraine. Ukraine is saying, bring their stuff. Well, but Zelensky, a little Mr. Corruptista, he's saying, bring the stuff, okay? So they're bringing this stuff. And Putin's saying, don't. He says, I don't want that stuff in my back garden. They do. They want to come. He comes and he does what he says he'll do. And he now has annexed, obviously, the Donbass, etc. And he's taken it. And now the pipeline has been blown up, isn't it? The Nord Stream pipeline. And America's saying, Russia, Russia. And Russia is saying, I want an inquiry. Okay, well, let's look at it. What does Russia have to win? Blowing up their own pipeline. I mean, surely they could just switch off the valves. Did Germany buy? So they were holding the cards. They were controlling it, of whether they supply Europe or not, gas and oil. Now that control has been taken out of their hands, incidentally, at the same as a new line opening up that has been held by the Allies from Poland into Europe. Same day, the same as from bomb that opens. And America, meanwhile, is saying, don't worry, Europe, I'm here. I'll give you all the gas and oil you need. We can save you. And Europe is saying, yeah. Okay, so at the moment, we're under lock and key to Russia. And now we're going to be lock and key to America. Well, we are already lock and key to America, to the United States. The United States still thinks it owns or administers the world, and we are merely a pantry. And the resident geriatric, my God, he runs around. What's he do? So he goes, they're helping set up Adolf, aka Vladimir Zelensky. They're giving piling. There are more arms in Ukraine probably than the entire Europe. And if this war ends, and say Zelensky is victorious, is he going to give all those guns back? What's going to happen? We've got a whole week Europe to go and fight. They're saying Russia, oh no, Russia's turning around and the sanctions are Russia. Russia's turning around and all they've done is said we're going to war. It's Biden, that other idiot from the UK, Boris, before, and all these people are now misthink. They're saying, no, we'll support Zelensky. Do what? Zelensky, is he the hero? He wouldn't talk to Russia. He wouldn't engage for peace. He would not discuss. No ways, no. We will go to war. We will save our country. Maybe he could have, if he would have spoken and said, listen, guys, okay, we will allow Russian in the school. And yeah, we will stop bombing and attacks and victimizing and persecuting Russians in the eastern Ukraine. But he didn't, because he had the big guns behind him, and he's making a killing out of this game. He is making an absolute killing. Both personally, he's now a world statesman. I mean, what other world leader has got standing ovations on a virtual presentation to all the governments almost of the world? And the rest of the world is sitting around saying, yeah, go, America, go. No, it's not like that. But let's get back to this pipeline. Who would have more to lose? So Russia, they bomb that. They doesn't make sense, obviously. America, tying Europe in, it now becomes her even more their bitch than before. Russia, what it has had is an indirect spin-off, hasn't it? Because now we can see that the all of the guys with the call up, the conscription that were going to come to the army, are now going to start thinking, hey, well, hold it, man. These guys are blowing up. Maybe Vladimir has got a point here. And there might be a change. There might be a kickback of nationalism in Russia because it wasn't this whole exodus of people out of Russia because of it. There wasn't. That was what the Western media portrays, but it's not the truth. And anyway, from America's point of view, what have they got to gain? Well, as I say, they get tie Europe in, dependence of Europe, and they can push the ball a bit further, and they're not fighting yet. I mean, they're talking about now and what's that idiot from NATO, Stoltenheim or whatever his name is, Stoltenberger, whatever, yeah, who's saying, no, we stand behind Ukraine. We are right behind. We give them the weapons. Okay, but Mr. Stolten, shithead, are you going to let them into Ukraine, to NATO? No, we support them. We give them the guns. We give them the weapons. And we carry the flags. And we sell the merchandise of your president. We sell them the little statues with the head that go like this. But they're not part yet. They are very, very good friends, and we are working very hard to make them better friends with Sweden and Finland. But they're part of us now because you see, those fuckers were not at war with Russia. But now you guys, you've been since 2014. You've been at war with the Russian people. Okay, I know they fucked you up. But that's your problem. We're sitting, I've got a NATO to run. I can't go to war. I've got to just look cool. So they're not. But even if they did, so Putin's saying, I'll push your buttons, but I'll push your buttons. So now they're all pushing each other's buttons. So now Ukraine will get, I'm also wondering how this whole military kickback of Ukraine, how's it worked? They are such good soldiers that they sneaked into Santon, right? Santon City. Mr. Russian, you're dead. And shooting with bullets that don't destroy property. Because this is the Ukraine property. We can't shoot Santon City fucked up. We've got to turn around and save the infrastructure. My God, I've seen some of those pictures. The reason Zelensky doesn't want pictures coming out or any media coverage from him is he's fucking the place up worse than the Russians. He's flattening it. And this is how both sides are going to have to fight this war. There is no other way. You break down the morale of the enemy. So don't worry about killing the soldiers. Just turn around and terrorize their wives and kids. And that is what Zelensky has started first. Putin could have blanket bombed Ukraine 100 times over, but he hasn't. He really hasn't. He wants us to, and I think Zelensky is like this little cocker spaniel, but he's got the big friend pit bulls, I don't think he's just going to remember him kindly. He's going to be this yapping, whining little egotistical fuck. God, honestly. I don't trust him, man. I don't trust him. I didn't like Trump at the time. Right from the beginning, people saying, Trump. And I said, there's something wrong with that. Delusions of power. Guess what he did? And Zelensky, I feel, is the same. He is more dangerous than Putin. He's going to be a threat to Europe after this. He will be a power player that wants to dominate opinion. But anyway, that's not the story at the moment. We're going on to the question of whether we're going to go nuclear. Yeah, well, not the guys that are winning. I mean, the guys that are winning, NATO and America, have got the upper hand. And Putin is getting driven back across the border. What does winning the war mean, first of all, for NATO and its allies? Does it mean getting them off Ukraine's soil and they say, now, naughty, Vladimir, you stay in the Kremlin? You be a good boy. Okay, don't do this, please. We don't like it. And yes, you've learned. I'm so glad to hear. No, you can. You can do baking as well. Is this what's going to happen? Is that what NATO is going to do, or are they going to do what they've done before on Saddam and Gaddafi and Osama. They're going to go and take him out somehow. And Putin knows this. So Putin's going to be driven back, and then they started getting hit Russian sovereign soil, which now is the Donbass now. So now the people turn around and Ukraine try and recapture the Donbass. No, it's an aggression, act of aggression. You're hitting on Chinese. What? Russian sovereign soil come to China as well. Okay. So now we're defending. Look at these Ukrainians. They're crazy. They're coming to take our land, the Donbass. So then he's going to hit, if they hit in, so they can hit back. So they have to, the NATO want to take Putin out, okay? Everyone said that. He is not going to go. And now if he gets loose, if he starts thinking for 1 second that he is going to go down and his country is going to be destroyed, as is the plan of the West, what would you do? Yeah, exactly. It's going to push the button, man. And this thing, NATO. They see Ukraine is getting solidly fucked up, and Poland is sitting on the skyline, and Hungary doesn't know which way. No, we like Putin. Please look after him, but Mr. Putin, don't fight with him. They're naughty. So if they start losing, they will get tactical. Who's got the most weapons? Well, China is the oddball out. And China's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Because China is solid with Russia, said, no, you guys will try and come out of the war. It's not war, it's not Russia. But, and to the West, they've said thing, and they've got beef for the West over Taiwan, haven't they? Because why? Because America wants all the semiconductor manufacturing to learn their secrets so they can scale them before they kick them out to touch, like they do every single time with everyone else. And meanwhile, now it's a one-party system, a one-state system or something, isn't it? So which is basically, no, we understand Taiwan is part of China, but now there's two parties. It's like said, no, China's illegitimate land grab since 1949. My God, hierdie mense kyk nie die nuus nie, jy weet. Hulle is bietjie, I don't know. But there's all this duplicity and hypocrisy and different. I mean, we're talking about the Uyghurs or whatever they are in Russia, in China. Human rights. Palestinian people, the 7-year-old child this morning. And we just look at a 7. Could you imagine your child being chased by the police? Imagine it. Picture your son or daughter and running into your house and then chasing him into your house and cornering your child, and your child dies because they are so scared. And that happens every fucking day. Not just there, all over the world. And these mothers that call ourselves leaders, that sit and put people at war. Zelensky, I will not talk. You're not fucking fighting, brother. You're just a cheerleader. The oaks in the trenches are fighting, and now they've got weapons, and now they're mana, and they're killing each other because you want to talk. Ach, shame, Ducky. Do I sound cynical? Yeah. Do I sound bored? Yeah. Do I sound tired? Yeah. And what am I tired of? I'm tired of the shit, and I'm tired of the fact that we are so apathetic and basically powerless. We do jack shit about the shit, and we just eat it up, and we push the little buttons, and we try and make our money to survive, where we don't even know what our dreams are anymore because we're just trying to tap dance to all the shit that's going on around us. Have a wonderful Sunday evening, and chat with you soon.